We are together with Paul Michael Scanlan, Huawei CTO. What kind of a world will 5G take us to?
You know, this is a very broad question, yes? But perhaps, you know, in Huawei we have a slogan, it's about connecting everybody, changing the life of everybody. And I think the reason that 5G is so profound is it's the first time that a technology architecture has been thought about for the future. It's the first time that a technology architecture has been thought about for industries, not just people. 2G, 3G, 4G was really about connecting people. And through this experience, we've learned a number of different things. We've learned that as people become connected and the power of smartphones, we see that it changes their behavior. We can now also see how industries could be transformed. So the 5G architecture will allow things like augmented reality, virtual reality, not for just gaming. You know, gaming is a small, not just for video entertainment, but for health. 5G will provide very low latency and very high bandwidth. That means that you'll be able to have practical e-health solutions which will benefit industry, specifically people. It'll be easier for you to have a consultation, even if you can't get to the doctor. It'll be easier for you to have tests done on your body and have the results very quickly without you having to have your children take you to the doctor, have the tests, wait. So these are practical things in the remote, I'll say the remote types of e-health solutions that will become available. We all talk about connecting cars, but the benefit is not the car itself being connected. The benefit is if the transportation network is smart, and that means the transport network knowing where the people are and what the people want to do and interacting so that you improve logistics, you reduce traffic, you reduce congestion, you reduce pollution.
Which technological development excites you more? Smart technologies or smart transportation with connected cars, as you said, or artificial intelligence?
So from me personally, I find that what we call collaborative analysis, and collaborative analysis is really what is at the heart of AI. So for example, before it's about people communicating, collaborating. The Facebooks are doing these sorts of things. But now if we take objects and machines, some of them don't do very much, but some of them as robots, as more automation is coming and more robotic things happen, then you'll start to see interaction between robotic or autonomous things and between those things and people. Now this collaboration, I feel, based on AI and starting to model and understand this interaction, has the enormous opportunity for the future. The reason AI is so important is because through AI, and very specifically high throughput computing, quantum computing, and examples that companies like Fujitsu are doing, and Huawei's Kunlun processors, these computers, supercomputers, have the ability to analyze data very quickly. And if we apply this combination of research to health, DNA analysis, then we can start to fix a lot of the diseases that are here today, and perhaps these too will improve our life. So the technology that supports all of these, you must have everything connected. And that's why I'm passionate about 5G, because without the platform, you can't enable these things to happen. Without a platform, AI as a platform, you can't change humanity.
About this technology, what kind of investments does Huawei do for that?
Huawei today spends in excess of 10 billion, so we're a $92 billion company last year. We spend well in excess of $10 billion every year on R&D. To give you examples, before 5G, we invested 600 million in what we call pre-research. That's just understanding 5G. Before it's standardized, that could mean it goes nowhere. That's called pre-research. So today, we have standardized 5G last November. Huawei was at the forefront of the standards committees. in 5G. Huawei has also invested in a company called HiSilicon, which designs, develops and manufactures chips. We make the chips very specifically for network. We make the chips very specifically for the consumer devices, like these. So now we've been able to put AI-based processing on a chip in here. That's the investment Huawei has chosen to make. We've invested in the network. We've invested in the devices, because we learned many years ago that without an ecosystem, you can't drive an industry. You can't transform an industry.
You make solutions from A to Z, and network, devices, and it goes on.
Yes.
Okay, my last question is, in general, what do you think about the developments, technological developments in Turkey, and what do you think about the summit?
So there's three questions really you have. The first one is about Huawei as an end-to-end, and we are, I won't say fortunate, I will say it's by design that Huawei understood that if we manufacture the end-to-end ecosystem, we can demonstrate it, promote it, and the industry improves. And the time to market is much faster for all the industry players, not just Huawei. The benefits then are for the consumers, and the benefits also are for the enterprises, the SMBs, or the industry sectors. So now let's have a think about, in the context of this summit, and why did I choose to come to Turkey? I'm in demand all around the world. Why? First of all, Turkey is a huge market. Turkey has huge influence. And Turkey has a very different demographic, that's right. It has a very large youth population. Youth drives innovation. Youth drives innovation. The government will have challenges. What to do with the youth? Where are the jobs? I just mentioned healthcare. What are the jobs and the platform for the future? So what I like about this particular event, hosted by Turkcell, is you bring together many different players. You've brought together Huawei, you brought together the Director General of the GSMA, you brought together people from AI and from IBM Watson. You're bringing industry leaders to try to talk about what they see are the opportunities and challenges of the future. Because we see that the direction, the rate of change of technology is so fast. What do you do? What do you invest in? How do you help the youth? So why I'm passionate about Turkcell, why I'm passionate about Turkey. Turkey is a great innovator, even way down in Australia. Not that I'm living in Australia anymore. We hear about Turkey. We hear about what Turkcell has done. I'm very privileged to say that before, some of my consulting teams in Huawei have worked with Turkcell, with Khan, promoting positive things that have changed your company. And for that, I'm very pleased. That means that Turkey and Turkcell can relate to Huawei and China in sharing ideas for the benefit of both societies and for the benefit of both companies.